Hello, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm your co-host and Sunday school teacher, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to the latest episode of Bloodhaus. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm good. Today we are joined by a very special guest. He's a filmmaker. He is the co-host of Specter Cinema and the Pod and the Pendulum podcast. It is DeVaughn Taylor. Hi.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've listened to many episodes, so I'm very excited, particularly for this one.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. How are you this fine day?
I'm doing fantastic. My double feature today has been the movie that we're talking about, and then I'm seeing Furiosa shortly after this. So,
Nice.
this is a good day. It's a good day for cinema.
Yeah, it is. I'm also seeing Furiosa later. I'm very excited for that. I'm a Mad Max stan. I love those movies, which is
Hmm.
weird because I do not like action movies in general. But if they have like a genre element, I'm in. Like if it's like Lord of the Rings and it's fantasy, or if it's Mad Max and it's like post-apocalyptic, then I'm all in. But I just otherwise I can't bother to watch cops chase cars and shit. You know?
I was a reverse Mad Max fan because like I didn't like care. I hadn't seen any of them. So when like Fury Road was coming out, I was just kind of like, oh, whatever. And then like my friend was like, here, just like come on, like I feel like it's a standalone. You can come and watch it anyways. And then had my face melted off, obviously. And
Yeah.
then now I have like reversed my way back. I watched them all out of order, and I like just watched two in Thunderdome this past
Well,
week.
I feel like that's normal because before Fury Road, I mean, I'm a child of the 80s, so I kind of grew up with those movies, but I felt like I hadn't heard about them in years and years and years. And then Fury Road just like came out of nowhere. And so I feel like that must have been a lot of people's experience of Mad Max. And Fury Road it didn't hurt that that movie is so incredible.
So fucking amazing. And it really did come out of nowhere. I grew up with like my dad would talk about Mad Max, or like culturally it would pop up as reference in like The Simpsons or something like that. But it was not, it
Yeah.
was like I viewed it as like Escape from New York and stuff like that, where you're like, oh yeah, that like is a thing that happened in the 80s. Cool.
People
Yeah. I
acted
mean,
like I was like shocked because like everyone's like, oh yeah, you know Mad Max. I was like, who? Like, cause I honestly like had no reference point for it. And then I was like, oh, okay. Like, I guess he's a thing.
I mean, I guess it's more of a franchise than what I'm about to say, but like I would have been just as surprised if somebody was like, they're making a new Big Trouble in Little China movie or something. I'd be like, oh, weird. That's how I felt when that they were making a Fury Road. I was like, oh, how weird, that old movie. But I loved it, and I'm so excited to see Furiosa. Um,
Mhm.
this is our Memorial Day episode, everyone,
Whoop, whoop.
which I just realized before hitting record. So happy Memorial Day. Devon, are you doing anything cool or interesting this weekend?
Oh man, I just realized because I close on Monday night, so that means it's gonna be like a
It's going to
madhouse
be
for Memorial
swamped.
Day. Oh man. Well, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be drunk on Memorial Day. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Can I be honest? I don't know what Memorial Day is for anymore. I've forgotten. I realized getting on, I was like, I don't know why we celebrate Memorial Day anymore. Is it about veterans?
It's about
Is that it?
veterans. It's
Good
about
for,
people who've died
yeah.
in war. Yeah. There's Veterans Day, which are for the ones that are alive, and there's Memorial
So,
Day, which is for the ones that aren't, more or less. There's a
Oh.
myriad of holidays, and
listen,
most people think of
I
it as the day they get off work in spring.
I come
So
from a military family, so it's pretty bad that I cannot remember that. My dad would be so ashamed of me. But he'll never listen to this, so it's fine.
what are you doing for Memorial Day, Josh, other than looking up the definition of Memorial Day in the dictionary?
So Joel and I are going to my very favorite place in California, which is Idlewild, and staying in their one really nice hotel, which is called the Grand Idlewild Lodge, where they serve
Oh,
you pancakes in the morning. And it's just like a rustic cabin as a fancy hotel, kind of. And
Ooh,
I
that's a
love
vibe.
Idlewild. It is such a vibe. The whole
I
town
love
is such a vibe.
pancakes, so that sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it will be. I'm really excited. But
I've always wanted to go. I'm very jealous.
I can't believe you haven't been. It's
I
so
know.
cool.
It's like
It's such a cool town.
right up my alley. I love very rustic, like mountain kind of stuff.
And it's nice because it's very bohemian, but it's still somehow, I don't know how they've managed this, very working class. So it's not like a rich person place like Ojai or something like that. It still is very working class. And so it's got that grit and edge to it too, in a way that's nice.
Mm.
DeVaughn, have you seen anything cool lately that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been for some reason I decided I was going to work my way through the Hellraiser sequels. I'm in the
Mm.
bad portion right now.
Yeah, some of those
So
are a real slog.
yeah, so not going to waste my time talking about that. But I'm sure you guys, at least one of the two of you, are John Waters fans, and
Oh yeah,
Both of
we're
us.
both fans.
Big
we
time.
recently did an episode on Specter Cinema on Serial Mom, so I watched Multiple
Ooh.
Maniacs for the first time
Oh,
pretty
Yes.
recently,
Love
and
mhm.
I had a blast with it. I thought it was a very fascinating film. Like, I mean, yes, it like looks like it was like filmed out of a soup can or something.
for
But
sure.
like it works, and like I mean, Divine's performance is fantastic. But just like like I because I'm pretty new to John Waters actually, so
Mhm.
I'm kind of going back through him now and watching through his filmography, and like it feels like a nice like table setting to like what's John Waters kind of all about, like and like this finding beauty in the disgusting and the grotesque, and like showing like visceral sexual pleasure, but then having it followed up by like visceral the opposite of that, like those kind
Yeah.
of things, and like hey, like if like murder is your kink, like who am I to kink shame? I don't know, So
Or
like
puking.
I thought it was really fun. Like it's a really fun film.
It's super fun. I think it's a great intro to 70s John Water, which like there is kind of a divide. There's like the old John Waters, 70s John Waters, which is really disgusting and subversive. And then post polyester, it gets more palatable and mainstream and like sort of easier to watch, but still really great. So it is a great intro to 70s genres. A lot of people start with Pink Flamingos, which I think is the hardest one to watch and the one that I watch the least. And I I kind of don't think it's that funny anymore. But I have a soft spot for it. The best 70s John Waters, in my opinion, is Female Trouble, if you haven't seen it. But Desperate Living's a close second. I don't know. I go back and forth between those two. What do you think,
Desperate
Drusilla?
Living is my number one.
Ooh.
I adore Desperate Living. It's doing something that like he hasn't really done since. It's a lot closer to like his shorts that he made and stuff like that. It's batshit bonkers bananas, and it pulls off some really crazy stuff as you watch it, because it starts out very suburban trashy John Waters in the same way that Female Trouble and Pink Flamingos and Multiple Maniacs are, and then it ends like something very different. It's like his Jacques Demy movie. It's like John Waters
Yeah.
does Donkey Skin. Um,
Um, I love Desperate Living, but the only thing is that it doesn't have Divine in it. That's like its only thing that I miss.
I love Divine, but that doesn't hurt it for me because I love the supporting. I love the cast of that movie so much. I mean, you get Mink Stoll more or less as the lead. Um,
And Edith
I was also
Massey
gonna
is so great in that.
I quote Edith Massey in that all the fucking
I do too.
time.
I walk
Hi,
around my
ugly.
yes. I was just want to say that's what I say too. I walk around my house going, "Hi, stupid. Hi, ugly."
Oh my God. The real
Yeah.
MVP of those early movies, and especially Multiple Maniacs, is David Lochary.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
good at Multiple Maniacs. Oh my
I
God.
was enamored by his performance. Like I was enamored, but it was like also funny that I was like, oh my gosh, I know so many gays that talk exactly like Mr. David.
I
He
feel
he
like
is
I'm one
the
of them.
he is iconic. He is like the
He's great.
original, and like oh
Yeah.
my goodness, he's so good in it. And the Colangelos both told me to go Female Trouble next as well. So that's
It's
next
a
step.
crowd pleaser.
They would be
And
right. Yeah.
yeah, Multiple Maniacs is good too because it's the introduction of Edith Massey, which she basically plays herself. She was a barmaid that John Waters found, and so in that movie, she's kind of playing herself more or less. I love that movie. I got to see it on the big screen at the Castro Theater with Lemony Snicket of all people. So it's me and
Oh,
Lemony Snicket watching
Nice.
Multiple Maniacs in the Castro. It was really cool.
that's such a
Um,
delight.
yeah. What about you, Drusilla? Have you seen anything good?
Um, I've seen one thing that was very, very, very good, and one thing that was very, 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 very bad, and I want to mention both.
Okay.
Um,
Can't wait.
So there's like a big filmmaker blind spot for me. Someone that was like really big in the 80s and 90s. He's still alive. He's still making stuff. Also a career filmmaker. And I've just never seen anything from him, but I've been buying up some of his stuff lately. And so I finally decided to sit down and watch it. Peter Greenaway, who made The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover.
Oh,
Never seen it.
sure.
I've never seen any of his films. And so Kino put out a few recently on Blu-ray. Severin put out a few recently on Blu-ray. I also found a handful on VHS recently. So I've gotten a little library of stuff, and I finally the other day decided to like sit down and watch one of them. And I watched
Mhm.
his first feature, which is 4 hours long.
Oh boy.
It's called The Falls. Um, and it's a fake documentary, like a BBC style documentary, like cataloging 92 people whose last name all start with the letters FALL,
Mhm.
who have somehow been affected by what's referred to in the movie as the violent unknown event.
Okay.
So it's as if some kind of like apocalyptic disaster happened at some point in like between the 50s and the 80s.
Mhm.
And this is like a piece being made by the government documenting these people, their lives, and how they have been affected. And like
Wow.
there's entirely like made up languages in it. And it's like this absolutely bonkers, insane fucking art project. It is like vaguely connected to like birds and to the concept of flight. And it is fascinating. It reminded me a lot of Lemony Snicket in the way that just speaking with such authority about a very, very made up thing, as if it's a well-researched historical event. It
Yeah.
reminded me a lot of Wes Anderson. It reminded me a lot of F for Fake, that Orson Welles documentary. Again, documentary in massive air quotes. It's really, really, really fucking good, but you need to do it in like 2 or 3 sittings because it's super fucking long. But it's
That
addictive.
sounds good
I
and interesting.
couldn't let it go. I was thinking about you a lot while watching it. I think you would fucking love it. It
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna see
just like
that.
a font of ideas and inspiration because like he made this whole fucking shit. He made all this up, and then he made up this one thing, started making a little documentary around it, and then just like built an entire world and ecosystem to it. It's incredible, and every little segment is different. Everything is surprising. It's very funny. It's very weird. Um, and it feels very traditional and very fucked. It's very long, so if you want to like put it on the background while you do something else, or
Mhm.
like treat it like a mini series or something, it's well worth your time. Kino recently put it out on a like double feature set with his other 80s film, A Zed and Two Knots. So it's very easy to get. Highly recommend it. Um, and the other movie I watch, um stars Jennifer Lopez,
Oh boy.
and
Okay, here
it's
we go.
partially written by Jennifer Lopez,
Okay.
and it's called This Is Me Now.
Oh boy.
Do you know about this?
Like
Have you seen
I,
I do
I
know about it. I have not seen it.
the trailer made me feel drunk. Like
I
I
know.
was
I
so
know.
confused.
So I need to talk about J-Lo before we talk about J-Law. So friends of mine saw this and they thought it was fucking insane. And then I was recently down in Long Beach visiting my mother, and my friends were down there too to like visit because my mom like loves my friends and takes in like stray puppies. Um and so they convinced her to watch, or she convinced them to watch Mother of the Bride, despite the fact that she'd already seen it and knew it was terrible.
Yeah.
And in revenge, she made her and me watch This Is Me Now, which is the story of it's like J-Lo's new album, but it's not that. If you call it a music video or a concept album, she'll get very mad at you. It's her film. It's like self-funded by her boyfriend Ben Affleck,
God.
who apparently word of the street is he might be ending things with her. Anyway, um, it's like it's the story of all of her relationships and her friends that are all like 20-something gays think that she might be a sex addict, and it's the best thing I can say about it is it's barely an hour long. It's 65 minutes. It goes from like steampunk musical numbers that look like cutscenes from Wachowski movies to her fucking being watched over by a Zodiac council that features Jane Fonda as Sagittarius, Kim Petras, Post Malone, and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And they're all very clearly like shot on different days and then like edited together to make it look like they're having conversations with each other.
So funny.
It's fucking batshit.
What a weird concept. And I mean, if
Ben
there's one,
Affleck plays himself in it, but he also plays a like Fox News reporter essentially in like heavy prosthetics doing like a weird Southern accent.
love that for him. If there's one thing about J-Lo, she loves her some J-Lo.
She in the movie, she like lays out on a couch to like stare into the fire and ponder what's wrong with me. And the couch is like covered in a print that says J-Lo. And then it pulls out, and the rug is in the same matching print that says J-Lo. And it pulls out even more, and the carpet is the same matching print that says J-Lo.
What a cinematic history we've been through with J-Lo and Ben Affleck, because we had Geely, which was like a legendary flop. Then she didn't do movies for a long time. Then she was in that indie movie that she was pretty good in. I can't remember what it was. It's like, and it's set in a desert. No, before Hustlers. It was some desert little indie movie. Then she was in Hustlers, and she was great in it, and we all loved her and thought like, oh, J-Lo, you know, like people felt positively about her, and now we're back to a flop from Ben and J-Lo. Not to mention she's in that movie, it's called like The Boy Next Door or something, where she's like dating the kid that lives next door.
Yeah.
So that movie has the funniest moment because the kid gets her, she's like an English teacher, which is camp in and of itself. And so he gets her a present, which is a first edition, The Odyssey, which is like, that's not a thing that exists.
That's not a thing.
Like thousands of years old. Like a first edition of the Odyssey would be like a scroll or something. You know what I mean? Like,
is it signed by Homer in the Penguin Classics edition?
Like, or maybe it's the Iliad, but same difference. It's like someone in this production needs to Google the Iliad or the Odyssey. And like, it's just such a stupid, funny thing. Anyway.
She also made a documentary about the making of this awful movie that's like came out day and date on Prime. And there's like literally like a whole sequence in it where of her calling up celebrities to make cameos in it and all of them turning her down.
This is going to be like such a gay camp classic in 10 years.
It's like,
it ends in like a Singing in the Rain homage that is like super extended. And for all the weird bullshit in that movie, that's the point where my mother started screaming at the TV, being like, no, you can't do that. Oh my God. She did that documentary on Netflix like a year or so ago about her like about her Super Bowl halftime show, in which she spends part of it talking about how she has PTSD from not getting an Oscar nomination for Hustlers.
She should have gotten a nomination, to be fair. She was very good in that movie.
She was okay. And that movie was okay.
I liked that movie, but yeah, I think it was okay.
It was fine. Listen, it's been a long time since Out of Sight, and it's been even longer since Anaconda.
I love Anaconda. She should have gotten an Oscar nomination for that. That's a great movie. I know. Well, I rewatched this great movie, but I kind of watched it for the first time because I watched it originally when I was still drinking a lot. And so I was like blackout drunk while I watched it, I think, because I remembered almost nothing of it. It's the 1982 movie Fade to Black.
Oh.
I loved it. So it is kind of a slasher. It's kind of like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver by way of like a New Beverly bro. It's about this kid who lives at home with his aunt who's wheelchair bound and is really verbally abusive to him. And he's just like obsessed with movies. It's the only thing he likes and cares about. and he falls in love with this girl because she looks like Marilyn Monroe, and she really does. It's this Australian actress who looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe. And he asks her out, and she says yes. They're going to see a movie together, and then she stands him up, and that precipitates him kind of losing his mind. And he becomes different famous movie characters, dresses like them, like cosplays as them, and goes out and kills people. It's not a perfect movie, but it's 1981 in Los Angeles at Venice Beach, so that part of it is really cool. He dresses like this sort of new wave punk aesthetic, and it's all new wave and punk music from the era. That's really cool. It ends, the grand showdown takes place at Mann's Chinese Theater during the world premiere of Coal Miner's Daughter, which I love.
Hell yeah.
And it sort of like references King Kong at the end because he climbs to the top of it and there's helicopters all around. And so there's just like so much that's cool about the movie without it really being super good. You know, it's like a 3-star movie, but just so much about it is so good and evocative.
It's
and
really fun.
I love seeing Los Angeles in the early 80s or the 70s. You know, it's so fun, and the music is cool. The actor Dennis Christopher is really good. So it's worth a watch. Vinegar Syndrome did a restoration and put it out, so that's why I have it.
And they have a Memorial Day sale. Starts.
Oh yes.
Boom. There we go.
I need to shop from them. Yeah, I always do their sales. So yeah, that's Fade to Black, and I loved it.
I adore Fade to Black, and it always, because of Fade to Black, I will never forget the last name of Humphrey Bogart's character in Casablanca. Because that's like a bet in the movie of like, what's his last name in Casablanca? Was like, it's Rick. Like, well, yeah, but what's his last? If you're a big real movie fan, you'll know his last name.
I love that actress who played the Marilyn Monroe lookalike too.
She's
I think she really eats up the screen. I mean, she's beautiful and really good.
It is such a delightful movie, and all the like homages and ties back to like great 40s movies are so fun. It's really, really, really adorable, really, really, really scary. I watched it back. It used to be like super hard to find. I think it like only ever had like a VHS or maybe a rare DVD until Vinegar Syndrome put it back out. And I remember watching it on like a fuzzy VHS rip and like loving it. I bought the Vinegar Syndrome one like the moment it came out, and I haven't watched it since. So I've never seen it cleaned up. It's on my shelf downstairs. I need to give it a rewatch.
Well, today we are discussing a film and a filmmaker that I feel like we kind of make fun of a lot of on this show. He's easy to make fun of, even though I think we both really like a lot of his movies and this movie. We are discussing from 2017, directed by Darren Aronofsky, Mother! Exclamation point.
We spend all our time here. I want to make a paradise.
She redid all of it, every last detail. And she breathed life back into every room.
Are you happy?
I love you. Please, come in. Hello.
Hello. He's a stranger. We're just gonna let him sleep in our house. Hello. Hello. Did you know he had a wife?
Don't you forget the exclamation point.
Don't you forget it. I shan't forget it. I'll tell you that.
How could you?
I saw this. I saw this at ArcLight when it first came out. RIP, ArcLight Hollywood. And I really hated it. Again, I was drinking, so I had had some wine. I remember thinking it was really boring and pretentious. But I had a funny experience, which is last night when I watched it sober. I really liked it. I liked it a lot more. So I'm excited to talk about it. DeVaughn, you picked this movie, so I assume that you love it. Is that right?
I do. I love this film because it is, to this day, still like a top 3 theater experience. Because I saw this at an Alamo Drafthouse, and they did like a week in advance screening of it. And I remember this film, like it was like one of those ones where it was like the embargo was on it until like 2 days before it came out, because everybody's like, oh, that's gonna mean it sucks, blah blah blah. So hadn't heard anything about it, knew nothing. They whiffed on the trailer big time, but thank goodness they did, because it like sold as this like kind of standard home invasion thriller. I mean, it kind of is that.
It is in a way.
So just like everybody, no one knew what to expect. It was a sold out crowd. I mean, and it was just one of those movies where you hear just a symphony of just ooh and ah and oh my god. And like, I mean, it was like people were having like such visceral reactions. I remember like looking over and like the person next to me was like squeezing the hell out of their armchair like rest holders. And I mean, just like, through, various moments throughout. And then like, obviously like, and then like the baby moment, I've never heard a full theater go so quiet before. And it was just like, it was just such a beautiful experience. And like, I went and saw it 3 times in theaters that week, because I was bringing friends going, you have to see, like, I need to watch you watch this movie. That's what I was doing for this film. And I just had such a fun time with it every single time. And like 2017 was like a very important movie year for me. That's like kind of when I was like pretty much just like giving myself over to like genre films exclusively. Like, I mean, I still watch regular movies here and there, but like around this time was when I was like really giving myself over. I mean, Killing of a Sacred Deer came out that year.
It was a good year.
Like, I mean, it was a banger year for films. And, the things that I crave and like, for a lot of the films that you guys talk about here on the podcast is just like, I want a movie to make me feel something. I want to have a reaction, whether that's a good reaction, whether that's a bad reaction. Like, people ask me all the time when I say I love horror movies, and they're like, do you like get scared anymore? And I'm like, not really, but like, I love to feel uncomfortable. And like, so like, that's more the feeling that I chase. And I mean, and Twitter was the Wild West when this movie came out, because people hated it. They loved it. There were so many interpretations. Darren Aronofsky wrote this like long artist statement that he was handing out at the festival screenings for it. Like,
I forgot about that.
It's long, so I won't read the whole thing, but I'll sprinkle in some quotes later on, because
please do.
It's hilarious, honestly. But yeah, just like the way that people reacted to this movie was just like, I was like, this is it. Like, this is cinema for me. Like, this is like what I love, and I yearn for those like kind of, conversations when these kind of films happen.
Drusilla, you like this movie, right?
When this movie came out, I saw it at the Regal in Hollywood, like DTLA. And I saw it with a group of people, and it was also a very, very, very memorable theater experience. I had such a fucking blast with this, because again, no one knew what this was going to be, other than like they were leaning into the Rosemary's Baby allusions in the marketing really hard, and there was like
Darren
a couple
Aronofsky
like shock moments in this trailer. Yeah. And everyone that I saw it with fucking hated it, and I remember like cackling my ass off loudly in the theater doing a lot of it. And that was the only time I saw it before revisiting it for this. And I like, it was one that for years that a lot of people would be like, it's very divisive. I don't know anyone that's like split down the middle on it. I feel like everyone fucking like loathed it when it came out, or just like loved it and had a blast. And so it's one that like Josh and I have talked about revisiting on here for a minute. And Josh has always been like, oh, I hated that one, but you liked that one, so maybe we'll get to it. And to rewatch it, it was like the Blu-ray is unavailable. It seems like it's out of print or something. It's not streaming anywhere. You have to like it. I think it's available for rental on like one platform or something like that. Yeah. And so I found the 4K of it out in the wild, and I just bought it. And then I rewatched it today for the episode, and I showed it to Ivory because she had never seen it before. And Ivory was having a lot of fun with it until the like what the movie's getting at like landed in her lap, and then she like hated it. I like watched that happen in real time. For myself, I don't think I liked it nearly as much as I liked it the first time.
Hmm.
So I'm a little bit more split on it.
We switched places.
We did. I don't hate it especially
Yeah.
in the way that you used to.
Yeah.
I really like a lot of it, and I think it's really, 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 really fun and fucking insane. And I think it's a fucking hoot. However, I don't think it's a masterpiece by a long shot.
I still think it's a pretentious movie, but I don't mind. I mean, we have a show about art house movies, so like I
Yeah.
love a lot of pretentious movies. I've felt like and continue to feel like the metaphors are a little bit obvious. Like it's definitely a movie about the Bible.
I remember when it
And
came out and everyone was like, what does it mean? Like, oh my God, like, do you like, what is it? I need to look up some YouTube videos. Like, what does this mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? What does it mean? Did you go to fucking like,
I mean, it's crazy because I remember when this first came out, and I'm an agnostic person. I did go to church when I was younger, but like I didn't really pay attention when I was in church or anything like that. Never read the Bible or anything. So like whenever I did watch it, like yeah, I did see like, you know, the metaphors, but you know, I also liked how this like was kind of being able to like be interpreted in like a few different ways, like, you know, whether it be the mother nature angle. You know, Darren Aronofsky is a big like activist person. Or for me, I remember kind of latching on to like this like kind of art and the artist like kind of deal going on about like, you know, what happens with your work when you put it out to the people, and you know, and like how that, you know, feels. And almost felt like, you know, it felt like Darren, you know, kind of getting some beef off his chest, you know, from like, you know, reception to some of his other films, maybe because a lot of his films, you know, he is just like, you know, like he is a filmmaker that makes these kind of films that, you know, get visceral reactions and are divisive. And you know, to a degree you have to know that and you have to own it. So like yeah, this is a pretentious film, but at the same time, like I'm also like a full advocate of like, you know, I hate when people say like something's overindulgent. I'm like, well, what's the point? If you're not going to overindulge, like then don't make it a movie.
There's nothing more indulgent than making a movie, than writing and directing a movie.
Write it as a book if you don't want to be overindulgent, but like that's what a movie's for. So most recently with like Beau is Afraid, like people are like, oh, does Ari Aster need to be working this out on the screen? Do I need to participate in it? And
it's
like,
literally
well, no.
what making art is working things out. That drives me crazy too, DeVaughn. And it's funny that you mentioned Beau is Afraid, because I, of course, thought of it a lot while I was watching this last night. And I have some of the same feelings about Beau is Afraid as I do about this, which is that I love the third act of this so much. I mean, even when I hated the movie, I was like, I'll tell you what, I love that third act, and I appreciate how wild this movie gets. And I appreciate the boldness of that. When you're talking about the work of an artist, I mean, it is Javier Bardem obviously is a stand-in for Darren Aronofsky, but he's a poet instead of a filmmaker, which I think is kind of funny because it's like this is a vain movie, and I take your point about being overindulgent, and I don't think that's necessarily bad, but it's like the way that Darren Aronofsky is representing himself through Javier Bardem is kind of funny to me.
I felt like he was like taking the piss out of himself. Like Javier Bardem's like a loser in this. Like he like makes
you
God
think
like
he is
kind
taking the piss out of himself? I didn't see it that way at all.
I mean, I feel like he has to like on some level. Like again, like he's very cheeky in this like artist statement that he wrote, and like, you know, talk about this was a wild fever dream that poured out of him in 5 days, and you know,
he wrote it in
things
5
like
days.
And things like that. And like in rewatching this, like, you know, like he knows that this is the stand-in for his character, and like whenever I watch it, I'm like, this guy is very pathetic. I was like, so like I feel like he like kind of had to be like, if I'm gonna do this, like I gotta kind of, you know, eat my pride a little bit, and like, yeah, this is the way that I'm gonna put. And being a poet of all things as well, like no shade to the poets out there, I'm one of you guys as well, but like, you know, this kind of reaction to somebody's little book of poems, like, okay, yeah, sure. So it's like I feel like even in that, like, is kind of like a little bit cheeky in the way that he's like kind of putting himself out there, because I mean, look at him, he's a guy that wears scarves and all those weird hats, like he looks like a poet, you know. So it's he does. You know, so I feel like
it also feels like he's working through like guilt about the way that he treats girlfriends in his life or women in his life. And I don't know. I think that's funny too, because it's like, Jennifer Lawrence's character is a bit of a martyr in this. And I don't know. It's just like, Darren Aronofsky, be nicer to women. That's all you have to do. You
Was
don't
this
have to
an
do
apology to
this.
Rachel Weisz? This
Yeah,
whole thing
exactly.
was
Oh
to
my God.
apologize to Rachel
That's
Weisz.
what it feels like. It's like deifying the women that you have mistreated rather than just being nicer to women. You know
But
what I
didn't he
mean?
also have a relationship with Jennifer Lawrence during the making
Yes,
of
she
this?
was his girlfriend during the
Yes.
making of this too. So it's like pretty meta. The whole
And then
movie.
they were
Yeah.
broken up like 5 months after the film was released.
Yeah.
Like they like finished like the press tour and she was like, I can't handle this guy anymore. It feels like people that get married before they live with their partner, and then like
Yeah.
when you live with them and then you're like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. I feel like that's kind of what happened with them, because she was casted and then they started dating when they were making the
It
film.
seems like
Oh, so
that's a trend for Jennifer Lawrence after her working career with fucking what's his piece of shit name? That fucking
David O. Russell.
yeah,
David O.
yeah,
Russell.
yeah. The fucking
I thought of David O.
Predator
Russell
himself.
too, because I think Jennifer Lawrence is an extraordinary actor, and I think she's great in this, especially considering that on the page, the character is paper thin. And I think that that's by design, because she's like an archetype of a certain kind of woman. But Jennifer Lawrence, I think, brings so much, and I think she's extraordinary in this movie. And I like that they wrote her to be younger than her partner, because one of my things with Jennifer Lawrence is for most of her career, I was like, why is this woman playing someone who's like 15 years older than her? Like, clearly. And all of those David O. Russell movies, those parts were all clearly written for like a 40-year-old woman, and here's 25-year-old Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm like, she doesn't belong here. Yes, she is good, but she should not be in this role. So I appreciated that aspect of it, but I did think like, oh, what do the age gap people make of this in 2024?
They don't think about this movie. Most of them haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Honestly, while I was rewatching this movie, I was thinking like, wow, so many people have forgotten this movie, because if more like Twitter brained people watch this more, either they would fucking hate it, or we would have so many more mother memes. We don't have any memes from this movie, and there's so many moments that would make beautiful, perfect memes, and it's kind of weird we don't have them.
I feel like this is a movie that the TikTokers are gonna find, and I feel like there's gonna be a week of Mother on TikTok coming up at some point, because it is kind of just one of those movies. But yeah, with Jennifer Lawrence's performance, like I forget the exact amount, but it's like if you like go by the runtime, she's on screen for like 94% of the film or something like that. Which is like insane, and so much of it is a close-up with her face and everything. So like, I mean, this movie, lives and breathes and dies by Jennifer Lawrence's performance. And I mean, she's so great. Like she's so like,
she's so good,
because she puts so much like charisma, and well, not charisma in this, she's very not charismatic in this, but she puts a lot of energy into this like kind of blank slate character. I think her chemistry with Michelle Pfeiffer is phenomenal. They are so fun in their scenes together. I want to team up with them together. I think they make a great film together. And but yeah, like something about it, and like in especially in the second half, when she like starts emoting more and bringing the physicality and stuff, I mean, and those wailing, like these are some prime time screams in this movie. She apparently tore her diaphragm during the filming of this. And I mean, but like you see it, like some of those screams in the end are just like so guttural and like are fantastic. Like she is so good in this.
She's so good. And then the rest of the cast is no slouches either. Javier Bardem is great. Ed Harris, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kristen Wiig of all people, who is a delight in this movie.
People reacted to her like a jump scare in the theater, because like it just is, she comes out of nowhere and it's just like, oh my God, but she like fits in so perfectly.
And then she assassinates a handful of people. Good for her.
It's funny because
Stevie from Schitt's Creek is in this.
Yes. So weird. It's such a small role. Yeah. It's such a small role that I wondered like what the time period was. I mean, this came out in 2017, but I was
think
like,
they filmed it in Canada
before. Did they film this before Schitt's Creek though? Because
they did.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just a symptom of they shot this in Canada and they got Canadian actors for the lower tier parts.
Yeah.
She's so fucking good in that though.
Stephen
What's wrong?
McHattie
It's
making an
fine.
appearance in there.
Yeah. I really loved Kristen Wiig, though, I was going to say, because I don't know, this has not worked well in other movies. Like, I remember seeing The Martian and being like, what is Kristen Wiig doing in this movie? Like, it's so distracting. Get her out of there. But here it worked perfectly because I don't know, it just worked for me. I loved it.
You need like that sequence of the movie. Basically, as soon as Kristen Wiig shows up, all fucking hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
But that sequence of the movie is so jarring and so unexpected, and you need someone who is going to feel unexpected to be there. But Kristen Wiig also brings with her a like charming comedian, like, oh yeah, she's funny. We know her from TV. Like, she'll put the audience at ease for just a couple seconds while she's here, and then
I mean, in the
we can get
context
more
of
fucked
like,
up with the rest of it.
in like the context of like all the metaphors and stuff, because like obviously like no one's actually named in this movie, everyone's just him, them, but if you look at the cast, they do have like descriptions of who they are and stuff, and she's credited as the Herald, but it's also like when you think of within the context of a movie, like if you're gonna have somebody play God's publisher, Kristen Wiig is like a perfect choice.
That's a perfect segue to reading something, a quote from Jennifer Lawrence about the movie, that just gives context. Okay, so this is about the themes, and this is just from the Wikipedia. In an interview, Lawrence stated that the film is an allegory and, quote, depicts the rape and torment of Mother Earth. I represent Mother Earth. Javier, whose character is a poet, represents a form of God, a creator. Michelle Pfeiffer is an Eve to Ed Harris's Adam. There's Cain and Abel, and the setting sometimes resembles the Garden of Eden. I kind of intuited a lot of that naturally because, like I said, I don't think it's particularly subtle. But when I read that last night, I laughed so hard. Like, it's just like so pretentious, but it's true. You know, it is what the movie is exploring, and I actually like it. But it just feels funny to say it out loud. And then it goes on to talk about Aronofsky. Aronofsky said the exclamation mark in the title, quote, reflects the spirit of the film, which ends with a, quote, big exclamation point. Boy, does it ever. He discussed the film's unusual choice of not capitalizing the letter M in the title during a Reddit interview, saying, to find out why there's a lowercase m, read the credits and look for the letter that is capitalized. Ask yourself, what's another name for this character? So in the credits, the characters' names are all shown in lowercase except for him with a capital H. That is some Lemony Snicket shit, by the way. Speaking of Lemony Snicket, like going through the records and looking for the credits and looking for a clue. I don't know. It's just all like very precious. And
But like,
the way that I
capital
kind of
H
love.
him is like, you get it? It's God.
I mean,
sort of love it.
It's so funny. Like it's like I noticed a line of dialogue that made me laugh in this, and it comes after the funeral scene, which is like the first like kind of escalation scene that we have. But then it like dies down before like the crazy shit happens. But in between there is when we like they kind of have their moment. This is post the next morning after she's pregnant, and she looks at he's writing and she goes, oh well, I guess I'm gonna go start on the apocalypse, and like talking about cleaning the house, but then like just also the giant metaphor like of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this apocalypse for the end of the film. I was just like, oh my god, he is so on the nose, and it makes me laugh. Like he's such a nerd.
Yeah. So one of the Letterboxd reviews I read said that it gave the movie not a very good rating, and then said that it didn't feel believable, which I was like, that's so funny. That's like
God.
I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but many years ago I went and saw one of the Turf Wizard movies in the theater, and there's a scene where Harry Potter is saved by like a phoenix that cries magical tears into his eyes. And this is like 2 hours into the movie. And the woman behind me goes, yeah, right. And I was like, this is the point where you cannot withhold your disbelief anymore. It's like 2 hours into the Turf Wizard movie. Okay. Yeah, this is working in sort of like fairy tale logic or, dream logic. It feels very much like a nightmare. It's like that feeling of trying to describe your nightmare to somebody, but it it's coming out as like campy and you can't explain why it's scary.
That's a good way to explain it. Yeah, like it very much is like on like some dream logic. He's mentioned that in interviews as well, like saying like if you want to pick this movie apart narratively, it's gonna fall apart. And he's like, so go ahead and do it, but like that's not what we're here to do, which I appreciate. Like I'm a vibes movie person all day as well, so like I don't need it all to make sense or anything, and like yes, like it is like kind of very on the nose, and like and watching it at home, I definitely do feel the pacing a little bit in this. That is like kind of my note for this. I was like, I forgot it was 2 hours, and like it gets a little wonky. I feel like the stuff with Cain and Abel is drawn out a little too long. And like kind of messes with the flow, but then like once we hit that funeral scene again, like at the midway point, the second hour like flies by. I did
wonder last night, like, so the structure of this is that it starts out quiet and then kind of reaches a crescendo, and then they release the tension and it gets quiet again for a while and then builds back up. And I wondered a little bit, like, if they just removed those points of relief and this just built and built and built and kept constantly ratcheting, would I like this more? Or do you need those moments of release? I'm not sure. But
I think from Aronofsky's perspective, you definitely need those points, because that's how you let the audience know that it's two halves and it's the two books of the Bible. He's holding the audience's hand and saying, okay, now the part is where Jesus baby comes, so get ready for book 2.
Okay, yeah, that totally does make sense.
No, I agree with you, Josh. Like, pacing wise, if this movie was a single constant flow upwards, it would be like unrelenting and amazing.
I compared this movie the other way around. I always say that Climax is the musical version of Mother. And that has no release. That is just that is nothing but up.
Yes, I mean, again, it's easy to compare this now to Beau is Afraid because they have such similarities. But I thought Act 1 of Beau is Afraid was so perfect, and when we left that sort of tone and pace, I got a little disappointed. And I like this movie the most when we're either building up to that crescendo or living inside of it. So like, once Michelle Pfeiffer shows up, it's so delicious and stressful. Even before it gets to anything dreamlike and crazy, it's like the stress of having people in your house that you don't want there, which I very much relate to. As somebody who loves interior design and doesn't want people in my house, the movie is so stressful.
There's so many great moments where like someone will be fucking like doing something and Jennifer Lawrence is like, can you stop? And they're like, it's fine.
Yeah, and then they just move on.
They go, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah, I love
it's okay. It'll only be a minute.
Like,
they're like on top of someone. You're like,
I feel like this was like a early predecessor for like, I'd say in the past 5 years we've had like a real influx of what I call like social cringe horror, where it's like testing people's like niceties.
Speak no evil.
Speak no evil. I would even put something like Shiva Baby in there. These like movies that like test your will, and like, because like me, I'm just not one of those people. I've been a bartender for 10 years. Like, I don't have time for, like,
I would immediately be like, get the fuck out of my house.
So like, I feel her so hard when she's yelling at the people for sitting on the sink because it's not braced yet. Like, I love that recurring bit throughout. And then like there's that one point like earlier in the day, like there's many scenes where she's testing paint and she's painting the walls because she's been rebuilt this house herself. It burned to the ground. That's what the story she tells, at least. And she's like painting, and there's like a scene where two people are painting the walls. And she's just like, no, please stop. And they're like, what? No, it's the least we can do for all your hospitality. And she's just like, I didn't ask. And it's like, I love all those like little like moments. But like, can we talk about Michelle Pfeiffer for a moment?
Oh my God.
This
Her cattiness.
is like a comeback from Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, it's so good. She deserved an Oscar nomination for this movie. Her and J-Law, if I'm being for real. But she is so good in her like cattiness, because like she just serves face so good. That's what Michelle Pfeiffer does. And like, like the she's like, kind of that, she's like the like, asking all these questions about like the social expectations like of a mother, of a wife, like, oh, why don't you have kids yet? Is it because of him? Oh no, you want kids, it is him. And like, doing all these poking and prodding, and then her and Ed Harris are just making out randomly around their house all the time. Like, she is so good in this.
She's just chewing up that scenery. Yeah, she moves to that house like a cat. It's just like, and it's so stressful because that's like one of the moments, her entrance is one of the moments when the movie really turns up the knob, because it's like, before then there's sort of like a plausible deniability. Like Ed Harris is here because someone told him it was a bed and breakfast, which it's not. So it's like, and he's like dying of cancer, so they let him in. But then his wife shows up and it's like, what the hell is happening? Like, why are people coming to this house? And so her entrance is like one of the first moments where it really pumps up the volume on the nightmare qualities. And she's so good in this.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer so much, and like this and then the Murder Anywhere Express remake, I feel like kind of came out around the same time, and it was very much like Michelle Pfeiffer's back, and now she's just in Marvel movies, and I'm very disappointed.
Oh, is she in Marvel movies?
She's been in like the last like Ant-Man and Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
she's
and, like,
she plays the original Wasp.
It's unfortunate. I remember seeing the trailer for that last Ant-Man movie and just be like, Michelle Pfeiffer, what are you doing? You don't need this money. Are the Grease 2 residuals not this good? Please, honey. She's so fucking fun in this movie. I wish we got more of her. However, the like heavy-handed metaphor of it all, of like, they're Adam and Eve, their sons are Cain and Abel. Like that whole shtick of it all. In that context, I don't care for how like villainous he portrays her throughout the movie. Like her last couple of scenes, she's like actively evil and like staring her down and confronting her, and like she goes from being like fun social bitch to like actively being a menace, and is like presented as like the villain for a little bit. And it's just like, well,
wait,
Aronofsky,
are you
that's just
saying
stepping into like...
Are you saying that you don't like the depiction of Eve in this movie?
Yes, I'm saying I don't like the depiction of Eve.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I
it's
guess
a
that's
sexist depiction of Eve. Go on, DeVaughn. I'm sorry.
no, I mean, very much so. Like, I mean, like, I
It's
guess
true.
this is Darren's opinion on like, you know, this is again this is like the pedestal, you know, that society wants you to be. Like, that's the Eve in this one, and like, yeah, like, you know, I don't love it either, but also I love Michelle Pfeiffer being Snaky.
Oh, yeah.
She's so
You know,
great.
like it's so good. I mean,
She
just
and
the
Harris need to have like a slew of movies together too.
They're great together.
They're
What chemistry they
shockingly
had.
very good together. Yeah.
I also think, you know, I don't know if Darren Aronofsky is like a great feminist. Frankly, that's all I'll say, and that's okay. You know, I think he's a very talented filmmaker. Wait, but speaking of, what other Darren Aronofsky movies do you folks like, if any? Because
I only like
I haven't
Black
seen
Swan,
that.
and that's it.
I've seen Black Swan, The Wrestler, and this, which I like all three.
So I've seen this, which I'm now mixed on, but I used to like. I've seen Black Swan, which I think I like, but I haven't seen it since I first saw it. I turned off The Fountain midway through because I fucking hated it. And Requiem for a Dream is one of my most hated movies.
Oh, I hate that movie. I forgot that was his big thing. I don't
oh
like that movie.
wow, I like Requiem for a Dream. Like,
There's also The Whale, Noah, and Pi.
I
Right.
haven't seen those three that you just listed, but I have seen Black Swan. Love Black Swan. I really like The Wrestler. I've only seen it the once, but I did really like it. And I remember seeing The Fountain when I was like very young, and I thought it was like very boring. I just have not went back to it because I should actually watch it. But I like Requiem for a Dream for like, you know, for what it is. Like, I mean, it is like, you know, like it, again, like this very visceral, like, you know, 1,000-mile-an-hour like kind of film, and like, you know, like it's very much not a perfect film, but very much a product of its time. But you know, like Aronofsky, again, like I just like, you know, pretension aside, I appreciate that he just, you know, he tries things, he makes ambitious
Yeah.
films. Like, you know, like nobody's gonna say like, you know, he didn't, you know, try to do something, you know, in his film. So it's like I always appreciate that, like, you know, ambitious, you know, directors. Like that's why I'm a ride or die for like M. Night Shyamalan as well. Like, hey, it doesn't always work, but it almost always does, and when it does, it's magic, you know. Like, and you know, like, so like I appreciate directors like that, like, you know, his pretension aside.
I think his pretension is kind of part of it. I don't mind his pretension. I think it's part of the package.
Pi got me thinking while I was watching the movie. The production design is, I mean, obviously this isn't a real house. This is a fucking set. It's a very,
Yeah,
very, very well designed set. It's
it's
fucking
so
insane.
good.
The house itself and every like detail of it is all octagons
Mm-hmm.
throughout like
That's
the entire
interesting.
thing. And so midway through watching it, I paused it and started Googling like biblical meaning to the number 8 because I'm like, he's a fucking numerology dude. Let's see what the and in the Bible, 8 symbolizes like rebirth and resurrection. And I was like, oh yeah, there we
Oh,
fucking go. Yup. Yeah, that makes sense.
fascinating.
That's why
Yeah.
all of this is so, yep, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. They did rehearse this for like 3 months before they started shooting, which makes a lot of sense when you think of those giant set pieces and how much movement there is.
Yeah.
And, they did have to rehearse this like a play. And that, to your point, DeVaughn, I think takes real craftsmanship and dedication. And, just in the pure craft of filmmaking, you have to admire that, I think.
Yeah, I love that. It's a real set. Like the house feels like so tactile. Because they like are mostly using all on this like real set. It feels very like contained in how like the house is like literally in the middle of nowhere, and you like question like
Yeah.
where all these people are coming from, So like yeah, the use of of it is like so fun, and then like it's so crazy because then like once we like hit the chaos of the third act, and like as this like it progresses from like a fairly quiet evening, just a few people, and then it turns into a party, and then this whole thing, and it's like you're like going around in a circle like a roller coaster or something, but it's like every time you go to like that's a same location of the house, it's different like 10 minutes later. So it's
Yeah.
like it's very fascinating in the choreography, and like especially for the camera and everything, once to be able to track everything that is happening in the third act is like a feat within itself.
I will
Agreed.
say, if there's one movie I would have loved to be an extra on, it's this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how much fun would that be?
To get to be shot in
Uh,
the head by Kristen Stewart, or to just like
incredible.
be one of the many like cult religious members, and like
Or you can just be randomly doing pull-ups in the doorway, or
Yeah.
like
yeah, or you
it's
get to eat a baby, like
It's like sort of Where's Waldo meets Hieronymus Bosch painting of hell.
yeah.
I love it.
I really
Um,
appreciate the Bosch like end sequence of like hell on earth. But when you get to the metaphorical standpoint of it all, it's like, oh yeah, humanity's just the worst. It's just like this endless string of miseries and violence.
until we destroy ourselves and then Mother Nature heals and starts over.
And Mother Nature heals by exterminating us all and starting over. It's very like, I love that eco-fascism that was going around when like lockdown happened, of everyone's like, nature's healing. This is what needs to happen. People need to die. Like viruses need to happen. And you're like, what are you on? Like,
yeah.
that's not it. It's overpopulation's the problem. There's too many people.
So in
Not
his like
it.
little artist statement, he said he wrote this after Hurricane Sandy. So that he was like feeling the environmental stuff there. And so I'll read the end of the artist statement. He says, I can't fully pinpoint where this film all came from. Some came from the headlines we face every second of every day. Some came from the endless buzzing of notifications on our smartphones. Some came from living through the blackout of Hurricane Sandy in downtown Manhattan. Some came from my heart. Some came from my gut. Collectively, it's a recipe I won't ever be able to reproduce, but I do know this serving is best drunk as a single dose in a shot glass. Knock it back. Salute.
I like that artist statement. I think what he's describing is how any piece of work is made. It's all like a pastiche of things that you've experienced. I will say I lived in New York for Hurricane Sandy, and I don't know, it's not that traumatic.
Yeah.
Growing up in poverty certainly is more traumatic. There's a lot of things I've experienced. I mean, I walked through Hurricane Sandy to buy a pack of cigarettes at the gas station because I was out of cigarettes. So I don't know. I think that's sort of funny that that's like his North Star in terms of like darkness, but it is what
Josh,
it is.
if it had been harder for you, you could have written Mother.
I know. It's true. Anything else to say about Mother before we move on?
No, I think again, like it does. I think it does hold up, and it still gives you a lot to still like chew and think on, because again, like this is just like such a saturated film of just things and stuff happening,
Yeah.
in this second half. Like it's like the first half is like half of a movie, and then the second half is like two movies. Like it's structured very odd, but like again, like love it or hate it, there's not many movies like this film, so I'll always appreciate it and for that angle. But I think it's still fun.
Me too. I count myself a fan now, so thank you for bringing it so that I could rewatch it. So Darren Aronofsky is a repeat unwitting guest in our game.
He's
of
a frequent flyer.
Have They Seen It is the game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen the film. Darren Aronofsky is repeatedly aggressively proud of his own ignorance around film. He's constantly talking about in interviews how he hasn't seen this classic film or that classic film, and to a degree that it's frankly very weird.
It's like anti-film bro.
Yeah, it's anti-film bro. I think, by the way, that film bros, like that's the best form of heterosexual man that there is. So I'm pro film bro. I would rather him be a film bro than be anti-film bro. So yeah, have they seen it? The game where we speculate whether notable figures have seen the movie. I have somebody in mind. It's very obscure. The first person who came to mind is Lorna Luft, who is Liza Minnelli's half-sister, because Lorna Luft co-starred in Grease 2 with Michelle Pfeiffer, who's in this movie.
My God.
So do you think Lorna Luft, Liza Minnelli's half-sister, has seen this movie? Star of Grease 2.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if she's keeping up with what Michelle's doing. I don't think she's like waiting by, what's Michelle's next movie going? So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Just
I don't think
that she's still alive, and she is.
She is still alive.
She's doing great.
I don't think she's seen this, but I think she's seen Murder on the Orient Express when that one came out with Michelle Pfeiffer, and I think she sent
100%.
I think she sent Michelle a congratulatory text, and when Michelle about that, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you," and then she was like, I think she sent another text being like, "It's so awesome to see you in so many things right now," and then Michelle texted back and was like, "Oh, what'd you think of Mother?" And then Lorna Luft was like, "Really interesting." And I think that's her relationship to this movie. I think she's lied to Michelle Pfeiffer about having seen it.
Do you know what I think really bothered Lorna Luft is when Michelle Pfeiffer starred in Hairspray the musical, because Lorna Luft would have been like texting her being like, "Great job," but then privately to her partner would be like, "That should be me because I'm the singer."
That should be me in that poof.
Yeah.
Caused a rift. It caused a rift.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lorna Luft also saw Scarface and was like, "That should have been me. I could have been Coke skinny."
I will say this: Lorna Luft is a much better singer than Michelle Pfeiffer is, but that's where that ends.
But she probably already has a cool writer. Michelle Pfeiffer needs a cool writer. This is the difference.
Very true.
Do you have anyone in mind, Drusilla?
This is a very religious film. This is a film that deals with the concepts of almost every little story from the Bible, kind of all like shoved in together. And we certainly know that there's a lot of film leaders in this world that have a lot of religious ties, and a lot of religious leaders in this world that have a lot of film ties. And I'm thinking about someone who's like vaguely depicted in general as a character in this movie, and who's also like friends with the Pope of cinema, John Mars. John Mars is the Pope of trash. The Pope of cinema, that is Martin Scorsese, who's done so much to get people to watch cinema and restore cinema. But do you think Martin Scorsese's friend Pope Francis has seen Mother? Exclamation mark.
That's the current. Is that the current Pope?
That's the current Pope. The Pope who's like, "Hey, gays, you can kiss and stuff, but trans people, there's your grave.
Yeah,
pick it."
I love that he's constantly kind of framed as like the cool progressive Pope, which is like, I guess comparatively maybe, but not in general.
He's the progressive Pope, but if you want to have an intravenous birth, you might as well get in line for hell.
I don't think he's seen this. For a minute, I thought you were going to say, "Do you think God of the Bible has seen Mother?" Which is like Yes.
What's he think? What's he think? Yeah, I
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think the Pope has. I feel like maybe the Pope, if they're like feeling like taking a trip to theaters, they're seeing like one of the Exorcist films because they're like, oh well, we don't do those anymore. I can go watch this and have
They
fun.
love the Catholic Church loves the Exorcist movies. It like that was basically
It's a commercial
conversion
for them.
camp for it's a big commercial for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they liked Immaculate generally, because I loved it. DeVaughn, do you have anyone in mind?
Yeah, I had a couple that came to mind. We brought up Creepo David O. Russell earlier, and it kind of which leads me into one of J Law's previous co-stars, someone who has fallen out of favor a smidge with his latest Oscar efforts and all those kind of things. In his ambitious chase of the trophy. Do you think Bradley Cooper has seen Mother? Because I was honestly thinking he probably would have been better than Javier Bardem as him.
I think Javier Bardem's incredible in this movie.
I think he's great.
He's flawless.
I think he's great. But Bradley Cooper, I think, really could have like brought a little extra sauce to it. But do you guys think Bradley Cooper has seen this movie?
Yes, first of all, I think he has. I think he would really like it. He seems like somebody who is a little pretentious.
Do you think him and Darren text?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think Bradley Cooper's a great actor, and I can see him in this role, although I love Javier Bardem in the role. But yeah, I think he really likes this movie. What do you think?
I think so too. I think he really likes it. I think he watched it late at night, texted Darren at 2 a.m. being like, "Oh my God, you really went for it, man!" Like,
I think he went to the
was
premiere.
very excited about it. Oh, or that.
I feel like he went to the premiere. Yeah, I'd be shocked if he didn't. Honestly,
I feel like
he's
he
absolutely
probably
seen this.
He does like in text to Darren, does call him like dude and man and bro constantly. I feel like, and I love that.
Bro, you crushed it. Oh my God. Like a brother killing his other brother. That's fucking like biblical, man. You did it.
I love it. Well, DeVaughn, thank you so much for joining us and for bringing this movie. What a treat. Where can people follow you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I was very stoked to do this. I love listening to your guys' show and love, all the different divisive films that are talked about in here. Good stuff. You can hear me over on my podcast, Specter Cinema Club. It's a horror movie podcast where we break down films by their subgenres. We usually have a theme for the month, but then each film we kind of go in depth that way. For May, it has been films of 1994 because this week is my birthday. Yeah, great year to be born. I'm turning my dirty 30 this week, so are all these movies that we've been talking about, and it ended up being like a very like campy, wacky lineup. So we talked about Serial Mom, Wolf, starring Michelle Pfeiffer.
I love that fucking movie so much.
Such a good one. Tammy and the T-Rex, and then my birthday pick will be The Mask. I'll be making my case for The Mask as a horror film. So you can catch us over there. New episodes every Tuesday at Specter Cinema, and you can find me on all the socials at _Daddy Disco.
Love it. Drusilla, where can people find you?
You can find me and my book, my art, my work over at Sister Hyde Designed. Is that a good Javier Bardem impression, or is that bad?
That was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
Over at sisterhydedesign.com. There's a lot of new stuff up there, so go check that out. I'm also on Letterboxd. If you look for Drusilla Adeline or Sister Hyde, you can find my half-star review of This Is Me Now over there. Give that a like. Give that some support. J-Lo needs your love and money, apparently. And you can also find me on Instagram if you look for Hyde Sister. What about you, Josh? How can people insert themselves into your house and your life?
Oh, boy. At Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. You can follow the show on X or Instagram at Bloodhaus Pod. You can email us at bloodhauspod@gmail.com. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Clearly, that's something that's very meaningful to us. And we hope you're thinking of the veterans on this special day, the veterans who died in various wars. Drusilla, what are we watching next week? It's a good one. A good, weird old one.
Next week, we're jettisoning off to Europe. We will be spending some time in the beautiful country of Spain, and we will be turning the clock back into the Franco dictatorship to be watching one of the most seminal and important Spanish horror movies of all time, and one of the most seminal and important European horror movies of all time. We will be watching La Residencia, or as AIP called it in America, The House That Screamed.
Cannot wait. Love it. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Bye-bye.